Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, guys. Come on in. How are you guys doing this morning? Okay, so I am going to go ahead and let our audience build up and prepare my notes. I got notes for y'all, okay? Because I've been getting a lot of questions, DM and commenting. And I think a lot of people are all wondering the same thing. Trump is in office. What does that look like for me? Because I want to buy my house 2025 or beyond, and I need to know how to prepare. So I am going to go over these points. Welcome to the video. I am going to go over the top 4 proposed policies of the Trump administration and what that looks like for buyers and sellers. All right. So we're going to go through those 4 policies, the top 4 that I decided. And then I have 5 key points for buyers, 5 key points for sellers. If you have any questions yourself, put them down in the comments or DM me, and then I can answer that for you guys. Hello, welcome. If you are just joining and you don't know who I am Vicky Koger, your local realtor in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. And today's video is going to be talking about what to look forward in the real estate market. Now, number 1, with President Trump's proposed policies aiming to boost economic growth and streamline regulations, we could be entering a unique period of opportunity for aspiring homeowners and investors. I think that investors should get excited about the new Trump policies because I think that it's going to be more favorable than the opposition's policies. So I know that investors, a lot of my investors clients, I'm going to talk to you guys first. I know that a lot of investor clients or people who wanted to become investors were worried that perhaps we would get more regulations to limit home ownership and the amount of homes that you can own as an investor. But it looks like, now this is just a prediction, that the Trump policies are going to be favorable to those of you that would like to get into real estate investment. All right. Home ownership is the goal. Pro-growth economic policy. This administration is focusing on lowering taxes and stimulating business growth, could lead to a stronger job market and higher income potential. Key factors of business growth can, which will make home ownership more attainable for more Americans. Okay, as we know, Trump is a business guy, so he is pushing for pro-growth in business and economics, and real estate and home ownership are basically the drivers of our economy. So if people are making more money, he's also going to be putting caps on credit card debt. So you are only going to be charged up to 10%, which will then free up more money for you to pay down your debt and be able to save more money so that you are able to purchase. All things to get excited about, guys. These are proposed policies. And nothing is set in stone just yet. But these are the predictions that I could find for you online. All right. So like I already said, real estate investment incentives. Trump is making it, again, he's about to continue our growth in real estate, and he is offering incentives for investors. So the proposed changes in policy could include new tax breaks and incentives for property owners and real estate investors, making it a great time to consider purchasing a home or an investment property. All right. I don't know if you heard me because there was a plane going over us, but yeah, like I said, I led with this because I do represent quite a few investors, and I know that the previous administration, there has been a lot of pushback on real estate investors, and a lot of investors feel or felt that the government was not supporting investors. They were leaning more heavy on rent control and landlord tenant court, making things more difficult to evict people. If you know, you know. If you've owned investment properties, it's been a nightmare. Airbnb was taking a big hit in a lot of cities because the government in different localities were limiting the amount of Airbnb properties that an investor could have. They were putting all these regulations. So the Trump administration is very much investor friendly, combined with point number one and a pro-growth in economics. He's a business guy. This shouldn't surprise anybody. So the proposed changes would include new tax breaks for investors and also for property owners. Like I said, I don't have that one here in this notes, but I saw it, that he is going to put a cap on credit card debt. So you're not going to be charged 25% on the interest rate, which is making more Americans take longer to pay down their debt. What do you need to be able to purchase a home? Especially in today's market, you're going to need money, right? So the better your debt to income ratio, the higher your loan will be and the more money you will have to purchase your home. So this is something for everyone to get excited, investors and future homeowners alike, okay? And also, I like to put a point right here and let you know that when you are trying to qualify for down payment assistance programs, and if you want to look for first-time home buyer programs, if you have owned your home for more than 3 years, you qualify as a first-time home buyer. You could be an investor and be a first-time home buyer and double dip on the incentives. All right, guys? We can go more in depth into that topic. If you would like for me to talk about it, leave a little heart emoji down in the comments. Okay, so increased market stability. With a focus on reducing inflation and stabilizing interest rate, we just went over that, the potential for a healthy real estate market is on the horizon. So there has been a lot of talks that perhaps there was going to be a market crash, perhaps there was going to be, people have just been on the sidelines waiting for home prices to crash, waiting for interest rates to crash, and unfortunately, it doesn't look like that is happening, but the good part is that we are looking at market stability. And that's really what you want, right? You want the market stable. Therefore, you can actually make a plan on how you're going to purchase your next property, whether you're going to be a new homeowner, you're moving up, or you're an investor, okay? I want you to keep the mindset of market stability and not market crash, because that's nowhere in the forecast. What we are seeing is more stability. So, for those of you guys that are new into real estate, I always tell you, think about where you want to live, right? Go on Zillow and just do a random search. Let's just say you're looking for a 4-bedroom house. You know the area that you want to be. Maybe you don't want to pay more than $500,000 or $450,000 for a property. Make that your criteria on Zillow, and then you could start to see the type of properties that are coming up on the market. This is going to prepare you to know what inventory is available in your price point. And if this sounds like Chinese and you want me to break down a video on how to monitor real estate inventory, you could just put a heart a house emoji in the comments below. So a heart for investors and a house emoji for my new home buyers. And I'll make sure that I remember to make a more in-depth video for you guys. But yeah, for you to be able to pay attention to what's happening in the market, real estate is a much location. So what's happening in other parts of the country is not the same of what's happening in the DMV. And you want to know what's happening in the DMV so that you better prepare for the DMV real estate market. Like if your goal is to buy a house this spring or your goal is to buy a house this summer, you can never start early enough to prepare for your home ownership goals. I have made posts about this before. And I have lenders that I can refer you to that will be more than happy to go over your financial picture to maybe give you a pre-approval right now or give you an action plan on what you need to do to qualify within the time frame that you want to buy your house. This is very important in the market that we have today, guys, because like I said, real estate is a local situation, right? Our market, what I see happening right now is we are still having multiple offer situations, okay? We are still having the houses that are below 600,000. There is still a very competitive market. And like I led talking to investors, I had a client that wanted to write an offer on a property. It was a total fix-me-up. From the naked eye, we estimated that house was going to need like 120,000, and that was a very conservative estimate in repairs. The house was priced like I think 430,000. Y'all, because of where that house was, I'm not going to give y'all all of my investors' secrets, but because of where that house had 10 offers within 2 days on the market. We literally didn't even have a chance to take the contractor over there. It was like, you see the house, you got to write an offer. Too much pressure. There are some buyers and some investors that are not going to purchase with that type of pressure, which is quite understandable. But yeah, we have a very fast-paced market here in the DMV. So that's something else you want to think about. Start building your relationships with home inspectors and build a relationship with contractors, because depending on how competitive the market gets, and I'm here to tell you, the closer we get to the spring and the summer, it's going to get back competitive. It's going to get nasty. If it's already competitive now, it's going to be competitive in the spring and summer. So you want to have a contractor on hand or a home inspector that can go and look at the properties with you, so that if by chance one of the houses that we view, hey, Luisa, so if by chance one of the houses that we view is like the property that my client and I saw last week, and you have to write an offer right away, you want to be in a position to write that offer. And if you have to forfeit a home inspection, at least you brought a home inspector with you, okay? I know legally I'm not supposed to recommend just one home inspector, but I can do some research and have a list of home inspectors that may be available to go look at properties with you if we come into a market where you have to write an offer right away and you want a home inspection, right? If you are going to waive that home inspection in your offer, you want to at least make sure that a professional does a walkthrough with you, so that you're not ending up with a property that's going to cost you more money. Especially since we're in a very competitive market, which means you're already going to be paying more for the property than what they're asking for because of how the competitive nature works. And I will probably make a whole nother video on how to write a competitive offer. So that was a sidebar. Back to this video. The last point in the Trump administrations and the predictions and optimism surrounding real estate in the Trump era. The last point, I think I already talked about it, right? Building wealth and security. So if you don't know, Trump is a nationalist. So what that means is that he is very focused on making America great again. And I know for a lot of people that might make you cringe, but as a realtor, where the economy is like the foundation of our industry, having a nationalist as our president is going to always work in our favor, because what that means is that he wants to bring and keep the wealth here in the USA. So having building a wealthier and more secure nation, that means that we're going to have more buyers that are going to be able to not only buy their homes, but afford their homes, right? Because these tax breaks that he's speaking about and limiting the amount that credit card companies can charge you in interest is only going to put more money into the hands of Americans, okay? And this is why it's very important that when you start getting this extra money from these new policies, that you have a plan in place, that you are smart enough and you're going to be like, okay, I'm saving an extra $300-400 a month. Let me start putting this money together for my down payment. Okay. Because there are a lot of costs that come up in the real estate process. We're going to work together to help find you down payment assistance programs. You're going to speak with your lender to see what loan is the best loan for you, because each loan program looks differently when we're talking about numbers. But building a wealthier and more secure economy is going to be a win for everybody. Okay, guys? So let me go into what this looks like specifically for buyers. Okay? So we're looking at potential lower mortgage rates. All right? A focus on reducing inflation could help stabilize interest rates, making mortgages more affordable and increasing your purchase power. That's precisely what I was talking about, all right? Lowering inflation costs, lowering the cost of debt puts more money into your pocket, and it will make mortgages low again, okay? Last presidency, when Trump was in office, that's when we were seeing the 2% interest rates, the 3% interest rates. So he did it before. There's no reason he can't do it again. Expanded tax incentives. Trump may look to reinstate or enhance tax benefits for first-time home buyers, making it easier for new buyers to enter the market. Get excited about that. Let me read that one more time. Expanded tax incentives. Trump may look to reinstate or enhance tax benefits. That means he is going to bring back tax benefits that first-time home buyers had before that they do not have right now. Remember, if you have not bought a house in the last 3 years, you are considered a first-time home buyer. So get excited about that, guys. This is making home ownership more affordable. Okay. So, increased housing supplies. They're talking about building new construction. You can drive around any city, any county in our area. Look, y'all, I got a piece of hair stuck on me. Okay. You can drive around any city in our area or county in our area, and you're going to see new construction. All right. There is also an increase in, residential rentals. So there are like new construction communities that are being built, single family homes and townhouses that are just for rent, right? Don't worry about that. If you're looking to be a homeowner, you want to focus on new construction that you can buy, okay? We want to focus on condos where you can have ownership, right? Because that is how you're going to build your real estate portfolio, right? Access to new loan programs. Let's get excited about that. New incentives or expansions in VA. I made a post on Veterans Day talking about one of the biggest changes to the VA loan, accompanying the new rule where buyers have to pay their realtor's commission. The VA loan now covers that real estate fee for our veterans in active service military. So that's great. There's also some new incentives with the VA FHA loan program, and that could make home financing more accessible to broader ranges of buyers, okay? So get excited about this, guys. I don't want you focusing on all the riffraff that is trying to keep us, on a low vibrational frequency. We're trying to get to the bag. If you are trying to become a homeowner, in essence, your focus is stable income and lowering your debt. All right. If they're not talking about that, if they're not talking about getting more money in your pocket, helping you become a homeowner, I suggest you just delete that off your timeline. All right. So access to new loan programs. I'm going to make sure that I do my due diligence, and if I see anything new, I'll make sure to make a post about it. So make sure that you've liked my page or you're following my page so that you can stay up to date on that information. Now, let's move over to sellers. All right. We already are in a strong seller's market. I told you guys that if you're looking to purchase under $600,000, you can pretty much bet that you're going to be in competition with somebody else. So that means that we still have a strong seller's market, especially the counties that are closer to DC. All right. And even like Fredericksburg, Stafford, again, multiple offers down there. Woodbridge, multiple offers. Charles County, it varies on where you are. Southern Maryland, again, it could get a little bit better for you in regards to competition, but it's all going to be dependent on the property that you are trying to purchase, okay? But for my sellers, it's still pretty much a strong seller's market. Expanded tax incentives, we already talked about that. These new tax incentives are going, oh no, that was for buyers. I'm sorry. For my sellers, potential capital gains tax relief. Get excited about that. If you don't know what the capital gains tax is the tax that a seller pays over $250,000 in profit. Okay, so the fact that sellers might benefit from reduced capital gains taxes on property sales, it makes it a more affordable to sell your house under these new policies. Okay, so sellers should get excited. More money in your pocket. If you have a desirable property, you don't have to pay the buyer's agent fee, right? You have a choice, okay? And you will have lower capital gains taxes. All amazing. And if I represent you in the sale of your home, this is going to be something that I tell you up front. We're going to give you an estimate in your seller's market analysis where it tells you how much money you're going to net on estimate, and then we'll do like a fake Alta, which is your HUD, the sheet of paper that you get from the title company when you sell your house, that's going to tell you all of your costs. So I do let my sellers know up front on estimate how much money you'll be walking away with from the table. So if Trump and his administration lower capital gains, that's going to be mega for a lot of home sellers that may not have been able to afford to sell their homes before. Improve property value. All of this economic growth and building the economy and stabilizing the market, that's only going to mean more money in the hands of the American citizens, and that means a better economy, which correlates to better property value. Okay, the more people are competing on purchasing, the higher the value of your property goes. Okay, and also there's going to be deregulation, a lot of deregulation and faster transaction. Trump's administration is talking about reducing red tape in the real estate industry, and this may streamline the home selling process, making transactions quicker and easier. Typically, it takes a loan anywhere from 30 to 45 days to close. But honestly, there are a lot of title companies and lenders that are closing transactions in 2 weeks. Okay, so that might become the new normal if we have more deregulation and they can process loans quicker and do the title searches and all of these things quicker, means you get to your money and move on to your next wealthy place quicker. All right, guys. Also, increased investor interest. New tax incentives for real estate investors is going to bring buyers into the market, increasing competition and driving up demand. All right. I already talked about that, guys. If you would like to, for me to go deeper on any of these topics, please send me a DM or leave a comment down here. Don't forget to share and like this video. You don't know who you know that needs this information, y'all. In this market, the more you know, the more money you're going to walk away with, okay? I don't want you to stay focused on the negativity around this election. We had 2 candidates and the country has spoken. Let's move along and get to the bag. Until we meet again, bye.